What a day of Premier League football. That was simply perfect, wasn't it? It was a pulsating day of football. Some might suggest that it was a delectable medley of footballing splendour. I had a fantastic day. I've watched so much football today. I've literally watched every game. I've watched every single game of football, and it has been a true honour. I had them all on for the 3 o'clocks, watched every single game all at the same time, then obviously watched Chelsea, and I've just watched Liverpool get back to winning ways. Watching Chelsea beat Tottenham is always a dream, and we are underway. The first super chat of the night has landed. It belongs to Adam W, who says, let's be honest here, Liverpool have to win at some point. If not, they'd be relegated. I'm not too worried at the moment. We are still 7 points clear. Adam is obviously an Arsenal fan, and he's still convinced that Arsenal are favourites for the league, which they are absolutely. Like, that is absolutely true. Liverpool are still major outsiders, majorly unlikely that Liverpool will be able to retain a title for the first time since the 80s, but the race is on. They are back in it. They have got a must-win game under their belt. They had to perform today, and do you know what? Going into this game, I said it was essential that they were to win. Liverpool basically had to win. It was non-negotiable. If they didn't win today, it would have been over. And I said it's a really tough game. Playing an Unai Emery team in good form is always a very, very difficult task. And when you're playing an Unai Emery team who are in top form at home off the back of such a dismal vein of form, there is always a chance for a banana skin. But glass half full, there's a chance to make a statement, and Liverpool have made that statement. There'll be a huge amount of relief on Anfield, but they are back to winning ways. Aston Villa was sloppy. Aston Villa pressed the self-destruct button. Aston Villa were not good enough, but Liverpool are back to winning ways in the Premier League. They won 2-0 at home to Aston Villa, and that is all that matters. It was a win, and almost more significantly, it was a clean sheet. They were so desperate for a clean sheet, and like Adam says, Adam, the Arsenal fan, is still very confident, and he should be. But this isn't good news for Arsenal. Arsenal don't really need to be worried about anyone else. Arsenal should fully focus on their job at hand. They don't need to be worried and preoccupied with what Liverpool are doing. But Liverpool winning a game, not ideal. Liverpool keeping a clean sheet, not ideal. And basically, Arne Slot couldn't have asked for much more. They play Real Madrid, and then they play Manchester City over the next week. So we are going to know exactly who they are by... Look, but within 7 days, we're going to know exactly who they are. If they can beat Villa, Real Madrid, and then Man City, all in the space of the same 7 days, then they are back to being a serious club. They are back to be taken seriously. And they're on 18 points. They fit 7 points behind Arsenal. 7 points is significant, but it is not insurmountable. It's not insurmountable. And if you are a Liverpool fan now, I think you're dreaming. I think you just needed to get back to winning ways. But today has gone about as perfectly as it could. Because it's back to winning ways, it's a clean sheet, and it's Mohamed Salah on the score sheet. A gift from Emi Martinez. But like I always say, and I know you know what I'm about to say, there is no such thing as a bad goal. The next super chat of the day has landed. It's from the Hawk Lord, who says, it's one game. We ain't back yet, but happy with the win. No, I think people, I think on some definition you are back. When you beat Aston Villa in the way, look, we're going to find out exactly who you are. But you're back to winning ways. There's no two ways about that. Back to winning games of football, which is so important. It was so important that you found a way to win again, found a way to love again, get Mohamed Salah smiling again. I felt Mohamed Salah's celebration was slightly subdued. What did you think to that? Do you think there's anything in that? Or am I just reading a little bit into it? I just thought that it was slightly subdued. But obviously, we could be, we can't explore the minutiae of the occasion like that. But I do think that, look, Liverpool should be really happy. And I heard Mohamed Salah speaking after the game. He felt hungry. It felt to me like he was talking about what was to come next. He was talking about the fixtures at hand. The fact that Mohamed Salah feels like he now has the bit between his teeth, feels like he is now fully focused, got his goal again, was celebrating with the Liverpool fans again. Anyone who doubted Mohamed Salah was incredibly foolish. He scored that outrageously brilliant goal last week, and he's on the score sheet again today. Liverpool will get back to winning ways. Liverpool will challenge for the title. Liverpool will win silverware, in my opinion, this year. And the reason they will is because primarily of players like Mohamed Salah. I've never really understood how people do that. People constantly, we're so reactionary. A player like Mohamed Salah has a dip in form. People are ready to write him off. People are ready to say that he shouldn't be in the starting lineup again. Arne Slot, a genius last season, has a bad 4 or 5 games. Like, there was a genuine conversation about Arne Slot losing his job. I had Liverpool fans, on my Talk Sports show, I had Liverpool fans phoning me up, saying to me that they believed there was a world where Mohamed Salah should not start and Arne Slot should be sacked. And you're like, it cannot be that reactionary. It just can't be. So yeah, it's not. I agree with the super chat there from the Hawk Lord. Liverpool aren't back. It is only one game. But I tell you what, if they had lost this game, it would have been a complete and utter disaster. So ultimately, they did what they had to do. Can I ask you a massive favour? Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Would you be kind enough to please like this stream? Massively helps me out. If you would be kind enough to drop a like, it would really help me out. Thank you so much. Another super chat. This one is from Rishab, who says, "Hi Rory, I hope you're doing well." I am, sir, and I hope that you are doing well as well. Thoughts on Slot benching Wirtz again? Seems like he's lost hope in the record signing already. I don't think it's quite as dramatic as that, Rishab. I don't think it's quite as standout or as noteworthy as perhaps you're making out. What I do think, though, I think that playing for Liverpool is an honour. I think that the way that you pick your team should be meritocratic. Wearing the liver bird upon your chest is something that people dream of doing, right? And there are only 11 shirts available on the weekend. Does Florian Wirtz deserve the shirt? Like, has he earned it? Has he done enough to be selected? Does he deserve it over some other players in the team? And ultimately, the answer to all of the above is no. And I think that Arne Slot has done the right thing. Nobody has a God-given right to play for Liverpool. Even if you are a record signing, you must play like a record signing. You must deliver like a record signing. And you must make an impact like a record signing. Early in the season, was very generous to Florian Wirtz. Anybody that watches this channel regularly will know that I was very generous to Florian Wirtz. I suggested that he can ease into his career at Liverpool. He can ease into his career in the Premier League. He's a young lad playing in a new league, learning a new language, left his family behind, and we must, I have to accelerate this point again, really young lad. And I was saying that there was no pressure on him. He can ease in, right? That's when I thought Liverpool were going to be winning games for fun. That's when I thought Liverpool were going to win the league at a canter. When the chips are down, the rules change. And when Liverpool were losing game after game after game, when it felt like the self-destruct button was pressed at Liverpool, when it felt like the ceiling itself was crumbling in at the club, Florian Wirtz, as the marquee signing, Florian Wirtz, as the record signing, suddenly needed to elevate his performances. You know, if they're winning game after game after game and Salah's already scored by this stage in the season 12, yeah, no pressure on Wirtz. But the rules change. When everything is going wrong, Wirtz needs to be the man to stand up. And he wasn't. I felt like he was so lightweight in various games. I mean, Brentford in particular, just so lightweight. Just didn't offer enough, just didn't have enough about him. It was like, mate, being a Premier League footballer, firstly, is an honour, but it's also a fight. Like, there was a moment, right, when he was, in his eyes, Florian Wirtz was, in his eyes, fouled. And he goes over and he rolls and he looks up and he looks at the ref like this. And the ref just, like, waves play on. And I was like, oh my God, you are just not currently in tune with what being a Premier League footballer is. You are not a Premier League footballer. No Premier League footballer believes that that's a foul. No Premier League football fan, nobody in that stadium believes that that is a foul. There is literally nothing to suggest that there is anything wrong with what just happened. And I was like, Florian Wirtz needs to recalibrate his brain, man, because he's not a Premier League footballer at the moment. He felt really hard done by, and it was like, no, mate, you're never getting that. So I think the Slot's made the right decision. I also think it demonstrates an element of bravery in Arne Slot to drop your star man. It sends a message out to that squad. Nobody gets in the team without deserving to be in the team, and that's how you get better. Now, the way that he gets back in the team is by performing. You know, Florian Wirtz didn't feature. He needs to now somehow show the world that, didn't start. He needs to now show the world that he can start. So, you know, when he was brought on 80 minutes or so, he needs to do something spectacular to then give Arne Slot a problem. He needs to give Arne Slot a good problem rather than giving him a bad problem. So I have absolutely no issue with Florian Wirtz being dropped. And now it's up to Florian Wirtz to make himself indispensable to the team. And that is how the team gets better. How will Liverpool get better? Ultimately, Cody Gakpo, Mohamed Salah, Hugo Ekitike, Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz will all compete. 5 players will compete for 3 places. And they will all outdo one another. So every time Cody Gakpo scores 2, Florian Wirtz scores 1 and gets 3 assists. And that way, fighting And the team is constantly elevating. Going back into the super chat now. Thank you for that one, Rishab. Excellent point made by you. Ahmed, LVP back could mean a draw versus City. Good for me, NGL. This guy likes to talk in acronyms. LVP, NGL. Angola? I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. Mate, you don't pay any more money regarding on how many letters you use. Can we type in full sentences, please, and do me a favour? NGL. Don't know who. I don't know what you're talking about. I do thank you for your comment, though, Ahmed. But if we could all agree to use full sentences, it will really help me out. Thank you very much. It will. Oh, okay. Hang on a minute. It's just. LVP is Liverpool. Okay, so, right. Sorry, man. It's like cracking the code. It's like, okay, NGL, not gonna lie. Why are you telling me you're not gonna lie? I don't assume you're gonna lie. I don't assume that these super chats are lies. Okay, Liverpool back could mean a draw versus City. Good for me. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't think you're lying. Ahmed, therefore, must be an Arsenal fan. Ahmed, thank you for your chat. I don't know why you like to type in acronyms, but it's very difficult to follow. I would suggest that next time you text anybody over the age of about 30, do it in full sentences, my friend. But no, look, you are correct on one level, Ahmed. The reason why you're not correct is because, you're right, this Liverpool winning again, Liverpool being back, Liverpool scoring goals, Liverpool keeping a clean sheet, means that Liverpool are more likely to take points off Man City. If you now, as an Arsenal fan, believe that Man City are a major threat to your title aspirations, this is good. I do, however, have bad news for you, in my opinion. My opinion is that it's bad news for you because Manchester City are never a threat. If you want a winner in that game, you want Man City to win it. Liverpool are more of a threat to Arsenal than Man City. Therefore, you want Man City to win this game. I truly believe that if I was an Arsenal fan watching the Liverpool versus Man City game, I would be sitting there singing Blue Moon. I would be sitting there with my inflatable banana singing Blue Moon. That is how I would view the game. I think that any Liverpool fan, any Arsenal fan, when watching the Liverpool versus Man City game, needs to totally be pledging unilateral, aggressive support to Pep Guardiola. What do you think? Do you think that's correct, Ahmed? Let me know. Henry says, Rory, what did you think of Chelsea today? Thought you should have scored a few more goals. Do you find that worrying? Love the pod, by the way. Thank you so much, Henry. Really appreciate you tuning in. Mate, watching Chelsea was brilliant. And I watched it. It was an honour. Have you seen who I watched it with? Do you follow me on Instagram? Go and look at my Instagram story and have a look at who I watched the game with. I was live watching the game with a former Tottenham player, and it was a thing of beauty. Watching Chelsea score goals against Tottenham never gets boring. There is no better feeling in the world than beating Tottenham. There is no better feeling in the world. Bearing in mind, I'm a married man with children. There is no better feeling in the world than beating Tottenham. It awakens something within you. It's when I feel alive again. Watching Chelsea score goals against Tottenham is something that I am not even articulate enough to do justice to. I find it just truly amazing. I find it like I love everything about it. I love every single moment of it. I love that moment of expectation when the teams run out. I love that noise, that plop, that thunder when the kickoff happens and everybody is cheering. I love that trepidation as the first few minutes of the game are played. I love that feeling that comes over me as you see the first tackle go in, that first crunching tackle. And then when the ball hits the back of the net, that sheer pandemonium. Wherever you're watching the game, whether you're in the stadium and you're hugging a stranger next to you, you're in the stadium and you fall over the seats in front of you, you've done your shins. Whether you're watching in a pub full of strangers, whether you're watching in a pub full of Tottenham fans, whether you're watching it with your friends, whether you're watching with your family, whether you're watching it on your own. The feeling of scoring goals against Tottenham is a feeling that I live for. It's truly, truly beautiful. And we do it on a regular basis, man. We just always beat them. It's happened again. We have an outrageously brilliant record. No team has won more at that ground than Chelsea. I think we've played there 6 times. We've won 5. 5 out of 6. The only idiot that lost there was Graham Potter, but I basically tuned that one out. But think about it. Jorginho's winner, Thiago Silva scoring there. Think about what happened last year, Enzo Fernandez. Think about what happened the year before, Nicholas Jackson's hat-trick, when he should have scored about 6. No. There is nothing more beautiful than beating Tottenham and watching it live on air with a former Tottenham player. Check my Instagram out. Check my Instagram story. It was Oh, it was good. It was really good. Henry, thank you very much for your super chat. Not bad for a fact. Says Arsenal were the only team with a philosophy and players both on song. Erling carrying City, agreed. Moyes at Chelsea, agreed to a degree. And Burma at United, to a degree again, I agree. I would say Casemiro, but it deserves a mention. After Christmas, other teams on song, hopefully, but too late for a title challenge. Manchester United make the top 4. Manchester United could possibly make the top 5. They could possibly make the top 5. Nothing else to really think about. You are correct. They could possibly make the top 5. But you know when you said Arsenal are the only team with a philosophy, they're the only team with a philosophy and players on song. I think they're certainly a team with players on song. But what makes Mikel Arteta a good manager, and what means part of the reason that Manchester United are likely to win, Arsenal are likely to win the league, is the fact that Arteta isn't exactly a philosophy manager. He's not Ange Postecoglou, is he? He's a pragmatic manager who does what wins. He's a pragmatic manager who will make the difficult choice and win. So no, I don't necessarily see Arteta as a philosophical manager in the way that Russell Martin, that Wally, that absolute bozo Russell Martin, was a philosophical manager. The way that Ange Postecoglou. Do you remember when they were playing with 9 men defending on the halfway line, and Ange Postecoglou comes out and goes, "I'll do the same with 5. It's just who we are, mate." That's a philosophical manager, and that's a bozo. And I don't think Arteta is either of those things. Thank you very much for your super chat. Three's Company says, happy with the win, the clean sheet, and 3 points. That's basically all that mattered today. Slot had to deliver after the midweek debacle. Bang on. You're absolutely right. I think it's very important to acknowledge that. The first thing that we really do have to acknowledge is that for today, there is no such thing as a bad result for Liverpool if they win the game. You know, sometimes when we talk about football, we're always looking for very specific things, aren't we? We're looking for very specific things. Did we play well? Did we control the game? Did we dictate the tempo? How did our individual players play? How was our cohesion? How was our midfield? And all of these questions are good questions, often questions that need to be answered. But there are times when simply winning is all that matters. And that is exactly what mattered for Chelsea today. We're playing Tottenham. We're playing our biggest game of the season. We're playing our rival. We're playing our bitter rival. And we needed to beat them. And we did. For Liverpool, it's that. But even more accelerated. Even more significantly. Liverpool, it didn't matter if Aston Villa had 90% possession. If Liverpool win the game 1-0, it's an amazing day at the office for Liverpool. Liverpool lose the game 1-0 despite having 18 shots on target. It would be a disastrous day for Liverpool. Liverpool got the job done. Liverpool were emphatic at various points, but Liverpool were also just professional. They did what they had to do. They got Mohamed Salah back on the score sheet. They kept a clean sheet, and ultimately they allowed Arne Slot to paint what he did in the week in a positive colour. You know, resting players, changing the formation, whatever you want to call it, the decisions that Arne Slot made against Crystal Palace were sensible ones. And let's be totally honest about this. Liverpool didn't want to lose to Palace. It's not good to lose games at home. It's certainly not good to lose games at home 3-0, and it's certainly not good to lose games of football when you are already losing far too many games of football. But nobody associated with Liverpool Football Club, Liverpool fans can't say this, but I can say it on their behalf. If you're a Liverpool fan, you'll never admit this, but you're pleased you went out. You're pleased you got beat. You're not pleased in the manner that you got beat. You can't admit that you're pleased because losing games of football doesn't sit right, and you don't want to admit that you were happy. But I guarantee you, do you want to know what? I think Arne Slot would have been happy. I honestly believe, particularly as they won the game, it validates the decision. The decision that Arne Slot made was a difficult one, and some would argue that it's a decision that you shouldn't make at Liverpool. Some would argue that when you have the team that he has and the squad that he has and the money that he spent and the fact that they were champions, they shouldn't be pleased to be going out of cups. And that is a philosophy that I could agree with on some level, but not in the situation that Liverpool are in. Liverpool needed to go out against Crystal Palace. I'm not suggesting that they should have been happy at losing 3-0, and I'm certainly not suggesting that they should have been happy at losing 3-0 at home to a Palace team who, under normal circumstances, Liverpool should be beating. But Liverpool did the right thing getting out of that cup. The last thing Liverpool needed is a distraction of that trophy. Liverpool You go through, you probably don't win it. Palace went through, they probably don't win the trophy. They might, but they probably don't. It's the last thing in the world Liverpool need. If Liverpool are to win the league, they need to be out of that competition. Do you know what? And I have a lot of respect for the cups. Anyone who has ever watched this channel before will know that I love cup competitions. Please, if you are a regular, you know this is true. I never sneer at silverware. I am never hostile to silverware. And to be totally candid with you, I hate people, hate them, who don't love silverware. I hate disrespect to the League Cup. I hate people that look down their nose at the League Cup. I hate people that don't have any understanding of what the FA Cup means. I hate them. But Liverpool need to go out the FA Cup as well. This very particular season, this very particular situation that Liverpool are in, they don't need the distraction of any of those cup competitions. So, get out of that. Get out. The Champions League you've got to focus on. The Premier League you've got to focus on. But if Liverpool to have any chance of winning the league, it's a slim chance at the moment. But they don't have no chance. They have some chance. Some would say it's slim. Some would say it's 10%. Some would say it's less. Some would say it's more. Whatever you believe it is, they do have a chance of winning the league. The League Cup, the arduous nature of the League Cup, the two-legged semi-final, the final at Wembley when you end up not playing in the league and then your rivals all play and win and put more pressure on you. Liverpool do not need that. Do you know what Liverpool want? Liverpool fans, not only do they want their team to go out of the League Cup, do you know what you should want if you're a Liverpool fan? You should want Arsenal to go ahead. You should be like, go on Arsenal, win that cup, that'll do you silverware. Liverpool fans should want Arsenal to win it because that's what would be better for them. That is 100% what would be better for them. We're going back into the Super Chat now, and we are talking to the Mac 11. Thank you very much, Three's Company. You were right about the midweek debate. Mac 11 now has said, a poor Villa team out there today, in my opinion. Prediction for the Madrid and City games. Can't see us coming close to win either. I think it's quite a harsh assessment. I mean, the Aston Villa team are on good form. You think about who Aston Villa are at the moment, who they're managed by, and the fact that they've been moving on up in the Premier League table. They are a good team who have demonstrated some decent wins. You know, that win that they got at Tottenham, the quality of the goals, it was two worldies, man. A good team, good players, and I will stand by this forever. Unai Emery is one of the best managers in the league. Then you look at the individuals. Good players. I don't rate Watkins, but everyone else does. I think Morgan Rogers is a class act. John McGinn, professional footballer. That Anana's a good player. Konsa's going to go with England. That Pau Torres should have probably blocked Salah's goal, but good player. Emi Martinez, who knows, right? They're not a bad team. Not a bad team at all. And they're winning games of football, and they have an elite level manager. You made light work of them. So they didn't play well. It wasn't particularly impressive from them, but you did what you needed to do. In terms of what it will mean going forward, this is when we're going to find out who Liverpool are. Liverpool now have an opportunity. They have a terrible week on one definition. They're playing really, really difficult fixtures. On another definition, though, they have an opportunity. Liverpool have an opportunity. They can make a statement. They can put the fear of God into Arsenal. If they, in the same week, beat Villa, Real Madrid and Man City, Arsenal know they're in a title race. Arsenal will know. And I tell you what, the pressure that could come from that, there is a very different way that Arsenal win the league. Arsenal definitely win the league if there's no title race. Do you know what? I don't know if Arsenal will win the league if there is a title race, because nobody knows. Liverpool historically do not win leagues when there is a title race. When Liverpool win leagues, what happens? They win it by blitzkrieg. They win it by battering everybody. They win it by the earliest. Didn't Jurgen Klopp? It was the earliest that it was ever won. Remember, it was the latest it was ever won because of the pandemic, but it was the earliest that it was ever won. They won it the earliest ever. They always win the league at a canter. Last year, they won it really early. They won it by 10 points. So the two Premier League titles that Liverpool have got, they won it the earliest ever, and they won it by 10 points. No title race. When they've been in a title race, 97 points, they didn't win the league. 98, Man City. When they've been in a title race, they go all the way, they don't win it. When they win it, they go out and win it. We don't know how Arsenal are going to work in a title race. We don't know. I'm not saying that they aren't capable. I'm not saying that they don't have the minerals. I'm not saying that they aren't ready for the fight. Maybe Arsenal are. Maybe Arsenal are about that life. Maybe Arsenal are ready to go for the jugular. Maybe Arsenal are ready for it. But the truth is, you don't know and I don't know, because they've never been in a title race. if Arsenal aren't put under pressure, they win the league. But imagine Arsenal, imagine Arteta, if he can hear hooves. So Arsenal are top of the league by 4 points, but Liverpool are playing first. How do you think Arsenal react if they know that Liverpool have won? Like, if Arsenal are top of the league, but they can hear galloping behind them, they can feel the momentum of Liverpool behind them, they know that there is pressure coming behind them, do Arsenal still win? I mean, we don't know. I'm inclined to say yes, but the truth is we don't know. Can I ask you a massive favour? Would you please like this stream? Is there any way that we could nudge this like tally to over 250? If you are kind enough to click like, it really does help me out. So if you haven't done that, please consider doing it. Oh, also, while you're doing that, why not click subscribe? It would be an honour to welcome you into this community. I'm going back into the Super Chat now, and it's the Joe Manji says, there were many good moments and some not so good. But let's keep things in perspective. They played a mid-table team. Who are we talking about here? Chelsea. Who are we talking about? Chelsea played a mid-table team. I mean, at the beginning of the game, Tottenham played a mid-table team as well. Are you talking about Liverpool? Liverpool played Villa. And yeah, they're a mid-table team, but they're also a team who are in Europe. They could have easily qualified for the Champions League last year. They are managed by an elite-level manager. Yeah, I mean, they're a mid-table team because they had a terrible start to the season, but the team that they've been over the past 3 weeks is quite impressive. And I rate the manager so highly. Brent Paul says, love seeing Gravenberch back out there and on the score sheet. Yeah, he's a great player, Gravenberch. You're so reliant on him as well. And yeah, him being back amongst the goals is big. I mean, it was a huge deflection, wasn't it? But you are absolutely right. It is undoubtedly impressive to see Ryan Gravenberch back. And there are certain players who, if it is to go well for Liverpool, will be relied upon. And he is no doubt one of those, because we know that he is a great player. As is Mohamed Salah. I mean, Mohamed Salah is just unbelievable, isn't he? I mean, where does Mohamed Salah rank in Liverpool history, in Liverpool folklore? Like, the fact that he is now the third all-time Liverpool goal scorer is simply unbelievable. Like, he scored more goals for Liverpool than Steven Gerrard. He scored more goals for Liverpool than Kenny Dalglish. He scored more goals for Liverpool than basically anyone that you can think of. Michael Owen. Who scored more goals, Mohamed Salah or Michael Owen? Mohamed Salah. Who scored more goals, Robbie Fowler or Mohamed Salah? Mohamed Salah. Who scored more goals, Mohamed Salah, Fernando Torres? Mohamed Salah. It is unbelievable quite what he has achieved. He has scored more goals for Liverpool than Billy Liddell. Now, I know a lot of you won't have heard of Billy Liddell, but I've heard the stories, right? Billy Liddell was so good at football and so important to Liverpool that when he was playing for Liverpool, everybody called them Liddellpool. So Billy Liddell's Liverpool became Liddellpool. And somehow Mohamed Salah has outscored him. There is a chance, almost a guarantee in fact, that Mohamed Salah will finish second, but there is also an outside chance that he could hit Ian Rush's tally. Unlikely, but not impossible. Really, really impressive stuff from Mohamed Salah. Really, really huge. We're just going to go back for this super chat. It's from Brent Paul, who's... Oh, no, I've done it. I'm fully up to speed. Listen, we are going to call it a night, but thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Please do me a favour before you go. Please do click subscribe. Going to be going live loads on this channel, and I would love for you to be there. In a bit. Ta-da.